Somebody told me once that I was too old to start over. I won't tell you exactly who because it doesn't matter, and honestly, it wasn't even said unkindly. It was said the way people say obvious things, like, the kettle's boiled or, it's raining again. Just a fact, apparently. Connie's had her turn. Connie should be winding down now, not winding up. I remember nodding along at the time, because that's what you do, isn't it? You nod, you agree. You go home and you quietly believe it a little bit more than you did the day before. Well, I've had a few years to think about that conversation, and today I'd like to give it the response it deserves. Watch me. I'm Connie, this is Connie After 60, and if you're new here, welcome to the corner of the internet where we talk honestly about money, travel, and living well without any of the nonsense. Today's a bit different, less spreadsheets, more spine. Let's get into it. Here's the thing nobody tells you about getting older. It's not one big dramatic moment where someone hands you a rule book that says, no more new things past 60, thank you, please exit through the gift shop. It's quieter than that. It's little comments, little pauses, little raised eyebrows when you mention wanting to try something. It builds up so slowly you don't even notice you've started believing it yourself. I noticed I'd started saying things like, oh, I'm too old for that now, about things I hadn't even properly considered, things I'd never actually tried and failed at. I was pre-rejecting my own life before it had a chance to disappoint me. And once I caught myself doing that, I got quite cross about it, if I'm honest. Cross enough to do something. So here's what I've been up to, and I want to be clear. None of this is about proving anything to the person who made that comment. This is entirely selfish. This is about me finding out what I'm actually capable of, at this age, on my own terms. I learned to swim properly for the first time in my life. Not paddle about at the edge, actually swim, with my face in the water and everything. I was 58 years past never having done it, and I was absolutely terrified the first day, standing at the shallow end like a woman about to give evidence in court. But I kept going back, and eventually something clicked, and now I swim 3 mornings a week, and I feel like I've been handed a piece of myself I didn't know was missing. I took myself off on a solo trip, which I know some of you have heard about, and which felt like the single boldest thing I'd done in decades, purely because nobody had given me permission to do it, and I did it anyway. And I signed up for a beginner's course learning how to actually use a computer properly, not just the bits I needed to check my email, and complain to Mayor about the weather, spreadsheets, the whole works. I sat in a room full of people 40 years younger than me, and I asked what felt like 1,000 questions, and not one person made me feel foolish for asking them. That surprised me the most, actually. I think I expected the room to feel like the person who told me I was too old. It didn't. It felt like a room full of people just trying to learn something, same as me. Now, here's what I want to say plainly, because I think it matters more than any of the specific things I've tried. The voice that told me I was too old wasn't cruel. It wasn't even wrong on purpose. It's just a voice that our whole culture repeats to itself, constantly, in adverts, in the way people talk about retirement, in the assumption that a certain age means the interesting chapters are behind you and all that's left is maintenance. That voice is loud, and it is everywhere, and it is, quite simply, not the boss of me. I am not interested in pretending I'm 25, mind you. I have no desire to go bungee jumping or dye my hair, a colour that doesn't occur in nature. This isn't about denying my age. It's about refusing to let my age be used as the reason I don't try things. There's a world of difference between the two, and I think that difference is where all the good stuff actually lives. I told my sister Meyer about all this, expecting her to tell me I was being dramatic, and instead she went very quiet and admitted she'd always wanted to learn to paint but had talked herself out of it years ago because she thought she'd missed the window, whatever that means. There is no window, Mare. There was never a window. I've bought her a set of watercolours for her birthday, and I fully expect a full report. And in the spirit of complete honesty, since we're on the topic of things I haven't gotten around to yet, I'll admit I still haven't switched my car insurance provider, despite 3 years of knowing I should. Reinventing yourself, it turns out, happens at your own pace, in your own order, and apparently insurance shopping is simply not making the list this year. If there's something you've been quietly telling yourself you're too old for, I'd like you to sit with that thought for a second and ask where it actually came from. Did you try it and it genuinely wasn't for you? That's a different thing entirely, and there's no shame in that. Or did somebody at some point say something offhand and you've been carrying it around ever since like it was a fact, instead of just an opinion with poor timing? Because I promise you, the room full of 40-year-olds learning spreadsheets did not care how old I was. The water did not care how old I was. The only person who cared, in the end, was me, and I've decided I'm allowed to overrule her. So that's my answer to whoever it was that told me I was too old to start over. I'm not asking for an apology. I'm not even asking to be right. I'm simply going to keep doing the thing, quietly and steadily, and let that speak for itself. If you've got your own version of that voice sitting in the back of your head, I hope this gave it a little less room to breathe today. Go find your version of the swimming pool. You know exactly what I mean by that. I'm Connie. This has been Connie After 60, and I'll see you in the next one.